Good Friday morning. I am so excited that you're here. I'm going to change this just a little bit. Sorry. Move the camera a little bit, and then I don't know which one I need to turn. There it is. I always feel like I'm kind of slouching just a little bit when I'm talking to you, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm excited that you are here. I think everything should be sounding good and working well. It is a very gorgeous day outside. If you haven't been outside, I've been struggling outside with the cold. I love the cold, believe me. I was talking to Autumn a little bit, and I enjoy the cold. I breathe better. I don't know if it's because it kills all the things in the air that I'm allergic to or have allergies. So I love the cold in that sense. There's no bugs. I love that I don't have to worry about mosquitoes or gnats or flies or any of those types of things, right? So I enjoy the cold. I love coffee. So when I'm cold, I can drink tons of coffee. I love it. I love fire pits. The heat off the fire, and I don't even care. Like, if the heat can just be just enough to, like, I still feel the cold around, like, I'm okay with that. I don't need to be warm. I love hoodies. You can see there in the back. I love those types of things. So the cold is something that is fantastic. But when it gets really cold, and I'm talking like below freezing and stuff, as it has been in the evenings, it makes it really hard to work out in my shop right now. So I've been trying to work through that and everything else. But during the days, it's been fantastic. Today, it looks like it's going to be amazing. So super excited about all of that. I wanted to share a verse this morning. And before I do, let's talk to this. So we got James on YouTube. He's saying good morning. So good morning to you. Zara, Mallory, she's agreeing that this is a beautiful day. I agree with you, Zara. Good morning. Anna's saying good morning to everybody there. And then George is saying good morning, George. And then he says warm better. Warm is better for riding. I know George loves riding the bike. I seen a couple guys out on bikes last night, yesterday afternoon, last evening. Because it did warm up a little bit, and it's a little bit warmer already out today. So I assume I'm going to see a few bikes that haven't been put up. If you haven't winterized them, I don't know, is that something you do? I used to have to winterize like my ATV. We'd be done for the season. You have to do that. You're supposed to do that for your lawnmowers, things of that nature. So I don't know if you do that for bikes. Maybe if you have a garage, it doesn't matter. It's okay. And then Mr. Houghton, so good morning to you. I am so glad to have you. I know we have missed you greatly here at Villa. I'm glad that you are joining us still, and obviously still part of the Villa family. So excited. It is Friday. If you were not able to catch it, I know we had some issues yesterday. I don't know why. You'd think I would be better at this by now. But we had some issues yesterday. RT came into my office, and he wanted to go live. We wanted to talk about a few things. And I'm going to mention it now. I'm going to try to probably put something on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow as far as like a graphic or something like that, just a reminder. But he made an announcement. He is going to be going live 10 minutes before the service on Sunday. And we talked a lot about it. I know times are confusing. I know our website needs updated. We got a banner on the building that needs updated of the times of service. So right now we have one main service at 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings. For those of you that are catching us for the first time, or maybe you've been confused about this, we have one service at 11 a.m. starting Sunday at 10:50. Right around that time, about 10 minutes before service, RT is going to go live on Facebook and YouTube and just interact a little bit there with the people that are there, kind of focus in and really, just address the people that are not able to come to the building. And so if you are one that watches the live stream and you do that, just remember or be aware that get on a little bit earlier this week. So about 10 minutes earlier, we'll get the stream going, and then RT will be on to speak to you. It'll be something different than what he's doing here at the church, so it'll be a little bit separate, and then we'll come back to then talk about, then we'll jump into the service with everybody at 11 a.m. So that's a big thing. Then Also on Sundays, we are having some baptisms. On Sunday, we're having a newcomer lunch. You should have been invited if you're a newcomer. If you're not, if you haven't been invited and you think, man, I want to know what it's like to be a member, reach out to me, let me know, and then we can get that information to you. And then Sunday night at 6 p.m., there is a carols and cookies here at the church. So we're going to sing carols at 6. We're going to get a special devotion by Jimmy Harris, and then we're going to do or have some fellowship time around some cookies. So that's at 6 p.m. on Sunday night here at Villa. 10:50 a.m. Get on. RT will be there ready right before the service that starts at 11. So those are the announcements. We also went ahead and announced, and I do want to make sure people catch this. Put it on your calendars. December 20th. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday at, I don't know the time yet, but December 20th in the evening, somewhere between 5, it's either 5 or 5:30. We haven't decided yet. That's the thing. I'm real with you guys. You guys get to see a lot of the stuff on how it happens and while I'm working on it and things. So it's either 5 or 5:30. Probably 5, but maybe 5:30. I don't know. We are going to do a Christmas trivia. RT and I are going to come back and we are going to do another Christmas trivia. The trivia has been requested a lot. Like, that is probably one of the most requested things that RT and I have done here at the church throughout this COVID. We started doing in the beginning. We thought, man, this might be a fun time, like, you know, be goofy for a moment. And then it was like, hey, let's do it again. Hey, let's do it again. And people just kept wanting the trivia, and it was a huge hit. So we're going to bring back trivia for Christmas Eve. So, or not Christmas Eve, but during the Christmas season. It's Christmas trivia. I'm going to get questions based on things surrounding Christmas. And so that's going to be on December 20th in the afternoon, 5 or 5:30, not sure perfectly on time yet, but that is going to be that. So put that on your calendars. Join us online. It's an online only type of thing, so it's not an in-person thing. You don't need to try to be here. You can sign on. You can sign on Facebook, YouTube. You answer the questions. We interact. We're watching the answers. We're giving people a hard time. We're messing with, you know, it's just a good time. It's a fun time. We've always had a good time doing that. So we're going to do that on December 20th. So I think I've given you all the announcements. Maybe. Don't know. But anyway, this morning, I want to look at a verse. We got a few more people joining us, so let's say hi real quick. Shelby Weber, good morning to you. She's saying good morning. Renee saying good morning to everybody. So good morning to you also, Renee. And then George says he rides all year. We talked about riding our bikes. I'm glad to hear that, George. Keep that bike ready. Get ready to go. That's a good thing to do. So our verse this morning in Psalm 89. Psalm 89. This is, again, I should have a t-shirt, right? This is one of those things that we need to be reminded of. This is something that we need to be reminded of. Psalm 89 talks about the goodness or how we should treat God. Sorry, my phone went off. It threw me off. So Psalm 89 talking about how we should treat God. Here's what I want to read, though. In verse 5, we're going to stick to verse 7, but I want to start in verse 5. Psalm 89 Verse 5 says this: "Let the heavens praise your wonders, O Lord, your faithfulness in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies can be compared to the Lord? Who among the heavenly beings is like the Lord? A God greatly to be feared in the council of the holy ones, and awesome above all who are around him." I want to read verse 7 again. "A God greatly to be feared in the council of the holy ones, and awesome above all who are around him." I think we need to be reminded sometimes that God is a God that we need to put above everything else. It is very easy for us as humans to make things less than what they are. To take a God who is high above everyone in the heavens, right? There is no one like God. There is no one above him. There is no one that can be named with him. There is no one that can measure up. There is no one that can do anything without God, right? I mean, God is above all. Satan is bound by what God allows. This earth, the universe, was created by his words. There is nothing that stands above him. And so sometimes, because that is a hard thought process to have, it's hard to think in terms of eternity and the vastness of God. We can look out, and I've done this recently. I've been, where I was in Alabama for a couple days, or in different spaces, and where there was no lights, or I was in Michigan for a little bit, and be able to look up in the sky and see the stars, see the vastness of what was going on. We have our world here, and our world is so small compared to what's going on in the earth, right? And the rest of the world. But you take the entire earth, is so small compared to what was going on, and just the vastness, and it's hard to wrap our brains around it. And I get that. I understand that. I'm with you on that. And sometimes we can get lost in that concept of trying to figure out, like, how does this make sense? And so we sit there and we look at it, and sometimes I think because it's so hard, we don't want to do it. We want to bring things down. We want to bring things down to a level where we can make sense of it. It's easy to understand. And so when we do this with God, we make some very grave errors. And so sometimes when we make services, and this is a challenge being in ministry, is not turning the service away from God. That the attention is on him, that he is the focal point. Whether it's Pastor RT, Pastor Jason, or myself preaching, or anybody else that we have bringing in that's giving a message, that's giving something, no matter what kind of songs we're singing, no matter what type of activities we're doing, no matter what type of things that we're involving in the service, none of that stuff should take away from the idea that we are coming so that we can spend time honoring God. That we place him above. I love, there's different ways that can be translated, obviously, different word usages and everything else. But in the ESV, the one I read, it says awesome above. It says that, and awesome above all who are around him. I just see that like is awesomely, or awesome, like he's so much better than anything else. There's a song, our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power. Our God is an awesome God. And I know some people, and I kind of like this, that they've reserved that word awesome for God. They don't use the word. They really try not to use that word in any other context but God. In saying, no, I'm going to reserve this word. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that that's necessity, but I think it's cool when people do that. That is what our God should be. When we come to church, it should not be all about meeting the people in the auditorium. That's part of it, and that's a good thing that God has added to church, is community, an aspect of that. When we come to church, it should not be about good music. Whether, we want to do our best, and we want to put forth good music, and we want to, have that. Our church services should not be about the person speaking. It shouldn't be just, I'm going to come when this person speaks, or when Pastor RT is speaking, or maybe I just like Pastor Jason, or I just like Chris or something. Whatever it is, that should not be the case of church. Should there be good preaching, good teaching, good exhortation, good, exegesis, all of this stuff, explaining scripture and all this stuff, yes, those things should be there. But the number one thing on Sunday, when you come to church, should be, I want to come and give reverence to God. I want to come and give attention to God. I want to remove distractions. I want to remove things, whatever it takes. That's why out. Like, and I understand COVID and sicknesses and other things have challenged some of these stuff, but it's why it's important to go somewhere, not stay home, not just, yes, you can reverence God at home and you should throughout the week, but there's just something about being able to go and reverence. And this is why it's talking about in the assembly of the holy ones. In the council of the holy ones, when you get together with other people, there should be a time where you have a community, you have a group of people that you are with, and when you are with them, you just reverence God. You just focus on Him. And so we want to be careful that our lives showcase this. That we have time in the morning, at home, in our own personal space, where we do this. That we separate ourselves, that we start, that we just take it away. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it's, some people work really, really well to do at the beginning. I found that I do really well at the beginning of the day because day gets busy, right? And then I get exhausted. Some people, it doesn't work that way. And you got to do it a little bit later and you got to figure out time. But if you take a time set apart to focus and just give God reverence, you can do that by reading, by praying, by journaling, by whatever, by singing songs. You can play songs and sing them. Do all kinds. There's all kinds of ways of reverencing God. But taking time to do that. And then when we come on Sundays and we collectively get together, that we don't lose focus with all of the stuff going on, with all of the craziness and all of the fun, right? And we're going to have fun singing carols and having cookies. We're going to have fun doing trivia. We're going to have fun, getting together and singing worship songs and listening and growing together. Yes, that's all good things. But that doesn't take the place of reverence for God. And so maybe it's during the preaching that you're focused so much on God and you're paying attention to Him and you're giving Him the honor that is due. Maybe it's while you're singing and maybe it's while, different aspects of it. But make sure you do that. Make sure that you don't turn, and again, it's something that we do, but make sure we don't turn. As Christians, we cannot turn our lives into getting a bunch of stuff done and not reverencing God and forgetting that it's just about Him. It's not about all of the benefits that we get from church. Learning more, growing more, having friends, getting things done. Those are all good things, but they're benefits. The main thing is that we spend time with God. And we want to make sure that we remember that and don't forget that. So I want to challenge you with that before we get to this weekend. Another holiday weekend. I'm super excited. We will see you here, hopefully, see you here or see you online on Sunday, 10:50 or 11 if you're here in person. And then I will be back here Monday at 10 a.m. So I'm going to try to think through what a holiday schedule looks like. We might have a few days where we end up not doing the 10 a.m. devotion during the holiday season, just so things are getting really busy and are really speeding up. But I don't know, maybe I can even try to record something a little earlier. I don't know. I'll think it's not. I like doing the live. I like being able to get together with you guys. So I don't know. I have a hard time pushing that away, but maybe it could be beneficial. I don't know. So Monday, though, we will be here at 10. Sunday, 10:50. Service at 11. Love you guys. Bye.